Hi Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I am going to be doing your spirit message reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before I begin this reading and clear the energy space, once again, a reminder not to be scammed by anybody in the comment box pretending to be me offering you a reading. This person is not me. They are a scammer. Do not be scammed. With that said, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. All right. Let's let the bowl sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Aquarius. Spirit message for Aquarius, Aquarius. Spirit message for Aquarius, Aquarius. Spirit message for Aquarius, Aquarius. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. All right. Let's see here what the chakra message is. Aquarius. Spirit message for Aquarius, Aquarius. Spirit message for Aquarius, Aquarius. Spirit message for Aquarius, Aquarius. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. All right. So we have here listening, the throat chakra. There we go. And then we have communication. This is, once again, the throat chakra. And this is going to be very important. Words are going to be very important. The way that they are heard. Okay, Aquarius, especially as an air sign energy, words are everything. But with that being such an intrinsic part of the self, the listening to not only what is being said, but what is being felt inside, and that communication with spirit, excuse me, to be able to move us forward into enlightenment or towards enlightenment is absolutely beautiful. So we start off with the Sun of Cups. This is water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. If you're born on the cusp with Pisces, this is going to absolutely be coming through. Then, or if you have Pisces within your chart, then we have the Nine of Swords, which is, nightmares. We have the Father of Cups, which is the Sun becoming the Father, which is glorious. And then we have the Three of Wands. This is crowning you here. The Son of Pentacles and the Two of Wands. The Emperor, which is Aries energy, March 21st to April 19th, and the Father of Swords, which is you, of course. You're represented by the swords in the minor arcana. You're represented by the star card in the major arcana. So it's very interesting. You have all sons and fathers here. You have two fathers, you have two suns. So there is this sacred masculine energy around you during this time, which means that the way I see the sacred masculine, to like kind of boil it down as much as I know how to, it's like the actor upon the stage, right? And the sacred feminine is the director behind the scenes. So both are intrinsically important, just like the kings and the queens. That's how I see them. And so here, this is the energy that's going to be pulling you forward. It's going to be pulling you forward first and foremost when it comes to terms of the heart, to what you desire, to what it is that you long for within the self. And then with the Sun of Pentacles towards prosperity, but also towards the way that you speak your truth. And that's where the chakra energy comes in, the listening to what you want, the listening to what people are saying. But here's the thing. When we embrace listening, okay, it can become a superhero skill, right? It can become a superpower, that's it, where we can listen and we hear, because we're not only listening to what the person is saying, we're picking up on their body language, we're picking up on their tonal inflections, we're picking up on their auras, we're picking up on everything, right? It can become a superpower that is absolutely fantastic for us, but it can also lead us to taking on so much more than we need to and feeding in the nightmares, the doubts, the fears, the overanalyzing, the overthinking. So here with the throat chakra, with listening, it's like listen, but don't become obsessed with it. And be able to embrace your truth. Listen to yourself. Listen to what your body is needing, like what your soul is needing at this time. And that's going to become very important. But it's also not becoming engulfed with it. And especially right now with the world and everything that's going on and everything that's coming at us, we can become engulfed with things and drowning in things so terribly easily. So just be mindful of that here. And then we have communication, which is, once again, the throat chakra. So really meditating on the throat chakra, even doing breathing exercises, Wim Hof's, breathing exercise is just absolutely amazing. I highly recommend it. I do it before the readings, and it's just so energizing and focusing and also so calming. Here, there is a sense of Spirit is communicating with us, and we can see it with the Father of Cups. And we are being told to listen. And that can be just the main message from the throat chakra. Listen to what Spirit is saying to you. Listen to the deeper truth, the deeper desire, what it is that you deeply want for this time. And with communication here, it's also understanding, just like with listening, we're picking up on everything. So communications can actually feel rather overwhelming because you're not only picking up, again, on what the person is saying, you're picking up on everything in between. And that can become a bit much. And that's where you're almost going to have to say, like, Spirit, please, take this, hold this for me, guide me in my truth during this time. Because the Sun of Cups is the Knight of Cups. It's slowly and steadily moving forward in your prosperity, in your bounty, towards what you desire, towards what you want, towards what you need, towards what you're looking for. And it's saying, this is my heart, this is my soul, this is myself, this is sacred, this is beautiful, this is truth, this is, oh my gosh, I'm just getting... in the Arthurian legends, the Holy Grail. And it's like, I find it, I see it, but I don't get to keep it. And here, it's like, that's what it is. It's like we find our truth, we find our love, we find our balance within ourselves, but it's always going to be pushed out just a little bit further, a little bit further, a little bit further. And that's going to be very important during this time because we're wearing our armor, we're going after it. And then the nightmares come in, like, what if I don't deserve happiness? What if I don't deserve love? What if I can't move forward? And it's all the darkness that comes in to our minds. And it's like, okay, well, what if that's true? Like, what the heck type of life is that? A life of complete nothingness, of just merely surviving, just fighting to survive. And yes, we have moments in our lives like that. But when Pandora's box was opened, when Pandora opened the box that she was told not to open, and let out all grief and horror onto the world, the only thing that was left was hope. Because hope is what we need. And when our fear comes in, when we become overwhelmed, when we, become chaotic, we lose track of the hope. And we think this despair is going to be my forever. And that's just not the case. So these are the nightmares. These are the doubts and the fears that make you think, I can't hold my chalice. I don't get the cup. I don't get to move forward towards what I love. And with the Father of Cups here, it's like, yes, you do. But we have to step back. And we have to say, the only person in this world that I rule over, that I have any say over, is me. And yes, I know with kids, right? You have say over them. You do to a certain extent, but they are still going to do what they are going to do. They still have that free will. And so as much as we would like to be able to tell people what to do and they follow it absolutely without question, or they just understand, that's not how it works. And so here it's like, listen, I can't make a 2-year-old eat when they don't want to eat, right? My nephew, who is almost 2, sometimes we sit there and we have the biggest arguments that he will eat his food and he can be so stubborn about it. So if we can't do that, how can we get other people to do exactly what we want them to do, or understand that it's important that they do X, Y, or Z? And so here, with the Father of Cups, it's saying, I rule this. I rule me. I rule me. That's it. By example, I will live my life towards my morals, towards my desires, towards what is important to me. And that becomes the game changer. Because instead of looking at everybody else, which is what we do when we have the 9 of Swords come in, it's looking at everybody else. It's bringing up everything from the past. It's being overwhelmed. What the Father of Cups is saying is, I can't change it. I can't change anything for anyone. Right? It's not being nihilistic, but it's like, I have to put on my face mask first, and then I can help. I have to get myself in order, and then everything else will start to fall into place. And it brings us to the 3 of Wands. It brings us to new horizons. Why? Because we've taken back control. Because we've claimed our lives. Not to be pulled by puppet strings by, anybody else, by the world, by events, by, careful and calculated marketing. It's like, I'm taking back my power. I remember I was working once in the mall and I would pass this jewelry shop all the time. And I always wanted to go in. And at that time, I had no money whatsoever. I mean, a $1 hamburger was a big deal. And I was like, why do I want to go in there so bad? Why do I feel like that would just make me happy? And it wasn't for the jewelry. And one day I was a bit earlier, I was going on my break, and I looked at the sign, and all the people were dressed up like Disney princesses. Not exactly, but super close. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's it. That's the clever marketing to say, won't you be happy? Won't you have your happily ever after if you come here? And it's like, I'm looking at me now. I'm looking at what I desire, what I want, not the chaos all around. And it's starting to open up the world. It's starting to bring forward new horizons. Why? Because we're tailoring our lives, not to everybody else, but to ourselves. And it's looking at that desire, that passion, that truth, that power. And it's saying, I have more to me than I realized. I have more coming forward than I could ever imagine. This is a time where there's this kernel that comes down, this little bit of, I want to say hope, but it's like something small starts going right. And it's like the one thing that was needed so that we can say, oh, it's like that one thing went right. And then it's like, oh, that's what I was missing. That's the piece that I was missing. That's what I didn't understand before. And then it leads us to the Son of Pentacles. It leads us to slowly and steadily building our prosperity. And it's very interesting. We begin with the Sun, and then at the end, we have the Sun. So we have this learning, this also tending to prove ourselves. Because think of boys as they are growing as teenagers, and or as young men. That's the time where you're trying to prove yourself the most. And that's why insurance is, right? If you're 25 and under, right? Your insurance as a young man is quite high because you're more likely to get into accidents and all this stuff. So here, be reckless. So here, as we are sons of our emotions, sons of our prosperity, there's going to be this urge to be reckless. The Father of of Cups kind of reins that in, right? For the Son of Cups, he reins that in. It's like, no, look here, look at what needs to be done. With the Son of Pentacles, there can be a sense of wanting to be reckless when it comes to money, when it comes to prosperity, when it comes to planting the seeds. It's like, oh my gosh, I can do it all. Stop. The Knight of Pentacles, right, in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, he's the slowest moving knight. So to build wealth, to build prosperity, to build abundance, slowly and steadily walk forward. Slowly and steadily look at what you desire. Slowly and steadily embrace your passions and your truth and your prosperity. Because you're going to find that there will be reckless moments during this time. There will be times where you're like, oh, just do it. Just charge forward. Who cares? Let's just see what happens. And though that's good on one hand, that's going to be detrimental on another. There's a need here to plant seeds mindfully, to look at the prosperity mindfully. And there's going to be this kind of railing against that during this time. But there is going to be this opening up of the world. And we see it with the Three of Wands, and I love how we then go to the Two of Wands. And the Two of Wands is like, you hold the world in your hands. Because in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, that's exactly what he's doing. He's holding the world in his hands, and he has the waters before him, right? And he has the world in his hand. So it's like, do I move forward this way? Can I move forward this way? I'm looking into the world. But am I looking into the world and forgetting my own world? Am I looking into the world, finding myself within it? So there are these paths that we can go. There are these ways that we can look at things during this time. We can get absolutely caught up with the irrelevance of things quite easily, and that's okay. Like, a lesson will come from it. It's not irrelevant, because there is going to be a moment where it's like, oh, that's what I was looking at. That's what I was looking for. So here with the Two of Wands, there's this sense of the world opening, and us being able to not just be an observer of it, but an embracer of it, a walking into it quite openly and honestly and powerfully and succinctly. And it brings us to the Emperor. It brings us, we have the Father here crowning, and the Emperor is the ultimate, like, sacred masculine symbol within the tarot. The Emperor, the Magician, the Hierophant, they can all be those sacred masculine symbols. And so here, what we're looking at, of course, Aries energy. And why this is stated again is because Spirit is saying, you have the sons, you have the knights, right? Well, this is the general. This is the ruler of, this is the leader, the commander of the forces. This is Aries. Aries is the god of war. And so this is the overseer. This is might, and this is strength, and this is power, and this is truth, and this is passion, and this is determination. And that's what we're embracing here in a very, very real way, in a way where it can almost feel like being overly aggressive at times. But what you're doing here is you're saying, this is what's important to me. This is what I want. This is what I desire. This is how I'm moving forward. This is what I long for. This is what I need. And as we claim this truth, as we say, this is what I need, this is what I long for, we're claiming a sense of, I need to move forward towards more. I need to embrace more. And there's a sense of claiming our thrones, because the Emperor realizes that somebody has to rule, and it might as well be me, right? That's what we have to say to ourselves. Somebody has to rule my life, and because it's mine, it might as well be me. And there's a power, there's a might to it, there's a defensiveness. There can be a bit of a temper during this time, because we do have this fierce kind of warrior energy, not kind of, but this fierce warrior energy here. But it's standing tall and it's standing firm. It's being powerful and prominent within the self and in what we desire. And it brings us to us being a king, the Father of Swords. That is us, Aquarius. The Father of Swords is the warrior king. All right? Swords are the only weapon within the tarot, and that's important. Swords took a heck of a lot of time and a heck of a lot of skill to make. They also were a sign of wealth, prosperity, and prestige. The King of Swords here is the sense of, this is what I fought for so long for, to find my voice, to embrace my truth, to stand in my power, to be able to say, this is right and this is not. And it isn't like going on a crusade and getting everybody to agree with us. It is just knowing it within our hearts, within our souls, within ourselves. And also knowing that that's enough. The King of Swords cuts through the doubts, the fears, the chaos, and claims the throne, claims the truth. And we can be a little bit cold during this time, just a little bit. Not really cold, because that's not the right word. Spirit's like, no, it's not cold. But it's like we're looking at the bigger picture while we're looking at the moment. So that's going to be really important, because there will be things where people will be like, oh, why are you being so heartless? Or, oh my gosh, I can't believe you said that or think that or whatever. But we're looking at the bigger picture, and we're not just looking at the right moment right now. It's like winning the war instead of just winning one battle that might amount to absolutely nothing. So that's going to be this time, and that's what Spirit says is super important. It's like, it's having the best life possible, right? It's winning the war, which is winning the war in this circumstance. It's being able to say, but this is my truth. Like, but this is what's important. So let's look at the subconscious chakra message, which is grounding. Yeah. We're grounding ourselves. This is the Earth Star chakra, located 6 inches below the feet. We're grounding ourselves in our richness, in our comprehension, in our passion, in what nurtures us. And so we have to be very careful, because what surrounds us, the people that surround us, the foods that we eat, the drinks that we drink, we'll be able to tell rather quickly, if they're not nourishing us the way that they should be. So with the grounding here, it's going to be so important that we are surrounding ourselves with nourishment so that we can grow as tall as humanly possible, so that we can have that power and that might and that determination to stand in our truth. And it brings us to the subconscious tarot message, which is the 10 of Wands. It's time to put down the burden that breaks our backs and overwhelms us. It's time to put down that burden and to let people carry their burdens, understand their lessons in life, and for us to put down ours and start to look at our dreams, start to look at the wood that we have carried that gets to become the fire that blazes in glory and brilliance and becomes the barn fire of our lives. And not the world that breaks us. All right, Aquarius. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. So let's clear away the negative energy, raising our own positive energy as we see the path split in a way, and as we embrace the world opening. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Aquarius.